The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What is up, Octo Nation? It's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. Wow, what a ride we had, right? We had some stuff, curveballs coming in, screwballs, all sorts of stuff, button hooks, everything. Every play in the book was coming out. Even one called Taco Bell came in. I don't know. It worked, though. We take a look at the stock market today. We got news analysis, everything that went on. We got plasma stuff, some SPAC stuff, some penny stuff. We're all over the place. Let's jump right in. Gores Metro SPAC merges with Luminar LIdar startup. So this is the Gores play that I did a video about a couple months ago, and this thing was what it looked like was another food play, but what it ended up being was another electronic vehicle play. So it's a cool play. I like it. I think the team, the main guy that's doing it is for GoPro. Dude, I mean, you can't have a better hype guy for it. It's a great product, great numbers, great industry, but it's a SPAC, so it just kind of got smashed a little bit, you know. And it sucks because, you know, if it wasn't a SPAC, I bet you it just would have kept kind of going up. I mean, you know, stuff goes parabolic. You'll see in like a lot of penny stocks and stuff. I mean, they'll just go like 2-3x, but in SPACs lately, even if the target's good, it'll go up like 18-ish%. And then it just crashes back down, and then it rides, and then it might go up a little bit, but then at that point it's a total gamble. So thank God they got the floors. Thank God we are buying them early, so that way, no matter what, you know, even if we miss out on the train up, at least we didn't overpay for it, right? Because we are buying them early, right? So there still might be a little run. In fact, there was. It ended up coming down. So let's take a look. So basically, it ran up to 1160 from, you know, it was like 11, so big whoop-de-doo, and then it just went back to 11, you know, at some point. So where did it end the day, though? It ended up coming back up, so it smashed back down. And again, this is only a tiny amount. What percent did it go up here? You know, it rode up 6% on that news. To me, that news is like, dude, it didn't even go up 18% like I was thinking. It went up 6%. Ridiculous. But you know, maybe it did come up. Did it come up all the way from there? How long is that? Okay, maybe I was right. Closer to maybe like 8.42%. Regardless, you know, I think it should have popped higher. It didn't, but it tanked just right after that, and then it rode about 11, consolidated, and then it had a new segment that came out, and it went from like 11 to finish the day about 11:40. But post aftermarket, it's already up to 11:54, so that's good too. So people are actually buying aftermarket too. So that's good news if you're still in this, you know, or maybe you want to get in. I mean, this is something that's going to compete with Graph. Remember that SPAC? any bag holders with Graph? This will supplement that, and in fact, Graph had a run today, better than what I saw with these guys. Actually, I think. Let's take a look. So they have patents with this. I brought it up in the first video this morning, but these dudes actually have a bunch of patents on the LIDAR systems with improved scanning speed for high resolution depth mapping, scan patterns for it, disrupted lasers and multiple sensor heads and pulsed lasers. So I got all sorts of cool patents. So this is one of those ones, though, that I'm sure within 2 to 5 years is probably going to be massive if you want to hold it for that long, you know. And so I think if we were through all the crazy volatility and stuff that we're in, and I think if we already had another big dip down, this is one that I would like to jump back in and be like, heck yeah, or maybe even after that I'd like to jump in. But I'm still on the fence right now with this. I'm still bag holding with the Graph, and you know, I'm still in profit with Graph, so I'm good. But it's kind of in that same ballpark as Graph. But I think you probably got a better hype guy with this one, with the dude who made GoPro cameras. So either way, I think that long term they're both gonna be ripping. This one's got the patents and all that too. So also want to show a nice entry for you. So Nevada Sunrise Gold Corp. Remember them in my miners video, early exploration miners video I did about a week ago? If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So what does this look like? This looks like a good time to buy. So this thing had a nice run up, came back down, consolidated, nice healthy channel there, you know. But today, a lot of the gold and silver stuff is kind of riding slightly low of where where it is. So I mean, it's probably a good shopping day for gold and silver stuff. But I saw this and I was like, dude, that's probably a good entry day for this. Entry is at 13 cents, 13.75, but it was all the way up to 18, just like a week or two ago. So right now, gold and silver are kind of just doing like this downward slight dancing move thing. I think it's doing its thing. It's just riding. I mean, the long-term aspect is devaluation of the dollar, yada, 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 TLT, all that. It's going to still go up. The macro picture is it's going to go up. When the next big crash happens, it will go down. But for the time being, it still should weasel its way up along with Bitcoin. Next standout, blowing my mind today. Green Power Bus, the video I did Saturday, I think. The ticker is GPVRF, the OTC, Canadian only. Folk, okay? OTC, you have to be on the big boys stockbrokers to get into this one, so I think it's creating the hype train just from that. People want what they can't have. I was surprised when this hit 36% today, but look at where this baby ended. It ended up at 79.7% up on the day. Unreal, unbelievable. So this, I think it started around like 2 or something today and ended about $3, $2.93. Cannot believe it. I posted a poll on Twitter. Let's see if I could find it actually. And it is, do you think that if Proterra, the electric bus Proterra that everyone thought was going to merge with HCAC, the Hennessy boys, what do you think? What do you think if Proterra gets picked up by a SPAC, which the speculation is that they will? I said, so Green Bus has been ripping all day after day after day. Will Proterra do the same thing but through a SPAC, or will it go up 18% and then tank to the floor? So I did a vote system here, and 24% of people think that it will tank once it hits the market, and 76% think that it will moonshoot. And that was out of 25 votes so far. If you haven't voted on that, go to the Twitter and vote. We have 20 hours left to vote, but that actually surprised me. I thought we'd see more people kind of saying tank, but more people like, no, dude, people want Proterra. People even told me that. They're like, I still want Proterra. So again, and Proterra, the hype with Proterra is helping also the Green Bus hype too. So that's helping that go up also. So it's a synergy effect, the competition boys coming up to take over everything. It's going to be interesting. So what do you think about that? Can't believe it's still running up just day after day after day. I mean, you can't make this pattern up. It's just stare up, come down, consolidate, stare up, come down, consolidate, just over and over and over. I was telling myself today that if this came back down to around $2, I was like, I'm gonna buy even more, And I went like low medium-ish on this, okay, for percent of portfolio, but after seeing what it's doing and macro picture, I'm like, man, but it just kept, I thought it might be coming down here, around 250, it started coming down, but it just kept firing up, and then it exploded again. So I was like, well, whatever. So all the plasmas that I was talking about yesterday from the Trump video, they was hyping up plasma for the Cerveza blood thing, right? All those pretty much rocketed today. I mean, we were seeing like 30, 40, 60%, 50% spikes. All right, TTO was the least one to spike, but it was cool because it provided entry and ended up providing a good way to get in early, and it had a nice solid run up. I think it ended at like 8% up or something like that. SONN was absolutely all over the place. This thing went from I hope some of you guys got in last night. Did you get in or this morning? Started out over here. Started out $2.72, spiked all the way to $4.50, slammed down, and then it did a button hook around $3.50, and then it started slamming back up to $4, and then started coming back down. So I was surprised it had a very aggressive move from $3.50 to $4 too. You don't really see that. That's all I was saying is the button hook thing just completely turned around. The TTOO, these guys have patents too, I believe, and they BlackRock does own some of them also. So that's great with that Trump connection I pointed out in yesterday's video. So you can see here that they had an initial rise spike up, but they only went from like $1.50 to $1.65, which is nothing. They slammed back down and then ended up riding and finishing green at $1.54. So they all kind of, slam went up and then recovered about a third of the way. And then the LMNL, this thing tanked harder than all of them. It went up, I believe it was around 13 and then up to 20, and then it's been tanking, So, I mean, it's good buying opportunity. I think it ended at like $13 or something. So, if you want, this is still obviously spec plays, but these guys are working in that space. They've, in the direct space for months. So it's not like they're just jumping on from yesterday's meeting or whatever. ADMA. So this is the one that's got the majority of patents and all that. And dude, this one was crazy too. It went from like 250 to 370, slammed back down. I caught it on a waterfall. I believe I caught it on the waterfall down just right about here, like around 390 or 290, somewhere around there. I think I got into that one. So started consolidating a little bit here. So we'll see what happens with that. Ticker ECOR. They got 2 government contracts, one with America and one with United Kingdom. Looks like a good entry point for now too. This one didn't really take off. So ECOR, they make this weird thing. They've got a patent on it, and it's like a device. It looks like a razor, like an electric razor for a dude. And you like just plug it on your throat. It's supposed to help you if you have like a respiratory disease or whatever, but it's using the keywords, the surveys and all that. But you'd hold it here and I don't know what it does. It does something. So what were the government contracts for? They're for that gamma core thing, right? The gamma core sapphire vagus nerve stimulator machine. I think they're selling for like $1,200 or something, and I think they got maybe 5,000 of them sold or something. So, decent news on that, but it didn't really move the ticker, and I'm not too excited about it. But at least I got 2 government contracts that came in, which is cool. ATIF ticker holdings shines on revenue boom from box office and pre-movie advertising business. So this is I believe it's Asia, I believe China. Yeah, China. As China allows cinemas to sell more tickets to increase its attendance, ran from current 30% to 50%, we could also expect more films to be released on screen. As such, our revenues from advertisement box office will be booming. We also expected a series of high-quality blockbusters to make debuts during China's National Day Golden Holiday Week, including Leap, China's women's volleyball, Master Yang, and the Six Kingdoms, and My People, My Homeland. So this is a company that they do advertising for movies and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty interesting. The revenue they got was massive. So I don't know. I put the article up here. Take a look at it if you want. The stock didn't really react to this either. It went up a tiny bit and then it basically tanked. But then it did the button hook thing again. It went up 25% from the bottom. So, people are just riding it, slapping it, selling it right away and coming right back up. So look into this if you want to get into the advertising space. I mean, I think it's cool. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, advertising. Another one, Fuse. So these are the guys that did a video on Fuse, but this is the dude who created the SPY, S&P 500. All right, y'all heard of that? The guy who made that has his own SPAC, and I've been telling you to take a look at those warrants. Well, these things have been spiking around 25% a day, and you can't even really tell because the volume is so darn low. Look at this. And they're right around 54 cents or whatever, 50 cents. You can get them in there, and then they're riding up to 60 cents and then coming back down and just jumping around a little bit. But I think there's some decent movement in here, and once the word keeps getting out about these, this is one of those warrants where not until it gets to about $1.67 or $1.75 when people kind of really start hearing about it. You want to get in now. This is still speculation. We don't even know who they're going to get. It will not be an ETF via what the head chairman said, but regardless, he's going to come out with something rad. It has to do with stocks. I'm hoping he buys someone like Webull or something like that and brings them to market, or Fidelity. I don't know, something like that would be rad. But take a look at that. Fuse warrants. XSPA is in the news again. This is the spa company that was in the airports, and they transitioned right away to testing for the Cerveza thing. They just got hit up on Fox News today, and there was an article on the JFK airport. They're saying how they're using them, and they literally name dropped Express Check that launched at JFK's terminal. So I didn't even check the stock on that. I'm not in there, but I thought you guys might want to know that if that's a play you're interested in. I think long term, I bet you it still kind of grows, because even though stuff will kind of dissipate and slow down, I think testing and protection and stuff is going to still increase, as the years go. So I don't know. Still might be a decent longer term play if you're interested in Express Check. So here's the graph, Vedaline LIDAR head up. So this is the one I was saying, the graph, GRAF, the SPAC. This was actually moving today. This was up about 16%. And I didn't see any news that came out, but it's finally coming right back up. So it's funny to me that some of these SPACs are having a little bit of movement here. So it sounds like people on social media today were excited about SPAQ. I think the Barstool guy, the Portney guy or whatever his name is. I've never watched the show, but I guess he did tweet. Remember when Fisker came out and he had that tweet where the robot was like, he's like, tomorrow, he's like, this is happening. I had the robot coming out, and then that Portnoy guy put out a tweet and he said, I just bet my whole portfolio just based on this tweet. Well, I think he said something else about it maybe today, but anyways, we had a little bit of a spike up. It was at like 12.20 and it went up to about 13.20, so it went up about $1. It's still not a lot, and I'm sitting there scratching my head like, why are these people getting excited? And you look at the charts, you're like, that's it. I mean, this is a SPAC. Come on, man. This is Spartans. We want to see this thing at like 18. We don't want to see it go up 80 cents. Come on. But hey, we'll take it, right? But I don't know. Watch it. I mean, to me, it's just right. It's exactly in the channel. Can you see the lines? You can easily draw a line. Did it really do anything? I don't know. After hours, we'll see what happens. Maybe this thing will start heading up again. That'd be cool. I still got some bags in this. I still think long term they'll be fine. If he ever figures out and announces that skateboard, I still think it'd be super dope if he announced it came from Canoe too. So then Trump did 2 speeches today. Oh, and I also listened to the Jules DeVore guy or whatever his name is, the chairman for the United States Post Office. I heard him get grilled today, and it was just ridiculous. Didn't learn anything, just basically said, no, I'm not messing anything up. And people are saying, some people still can't get mail or prescription stuff. That kind of sucks, but I can understand too, like how people don't want vote by mail, because it's not going to be legit. So if they'd stop that, I'm sure then we would flip the switch to let people get their mail. I mean, but you shouldn't hold the mail back for people. But I don't know. Obviously, there's always a bigger picture than we're let to know. But didn't learn anything really on that for stocks that I could pick up. I might have missed something because I was zoning out. It was forever listening to it. But then Trump had another speech later on today about the farmers, and he did say that the plasma and vaccine talk, there will be more plasma and vaccine talk on this Thursday night. So watch for that. All right. So all those plasma things, I think, are going to still kind of get jiggity and kind of hype up until then. And then, man, what if he name drops a certain brand, that they paired with? That thing is going to go nuts. Holy Toledo. So he was also saying how he's also giving away another $1 billion to farmers. So they're doing like this farmers to food banks thing. I think the government's basically paying for the produce and stuff from the farmers, and then we're taking like food banks or something. I don't know. Sounds really cool to me. He name dropped Remdesivir, and 3 vaccines he was saying are on the final stage. We already got some names. We already know what they are, but they've already kind of run. So I don't know. Well, I think once one finally gets like the final approval, it'll probably still have a run, but he name dropped one like 2 days ago, and it like brought it up. Maybe it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, and it didn't even like do anything today. So, anyways, let's see. He was touting how the NASDAQ broke a record, and he was also saying you will see something with the Dow, is what he was saying. He said, watch the Dow. He said that there's something going to happen with the Dow. So, I mean, I think he's telling us going up. He's saying, homes are getting built. Yep, somewhere, but not everywhere. Some places are not. Some places they are. Said he's getting rid of the virus sooner than you think. And then gave some scripture there. And all things work through God are good, or something like that. All works through God are good. So, amen. All right. And I think that's it for today. Hope y'all had fun. There was just some crazy curveballs going on. I've been smacking that Twitter for y'all real hard. So if you would, you want some last minute stuff or plays or buys and entries and all that, I'm trying to hit it as hard as I can. Any news I can, I'm breaking it. I even had way more news than this there today, I think. It's crazy. So if you want to get on there, just find us on Twitter. I think it's Octopus Money. Just type in Octopus Money Multiplier Twitter, and I'm sure it'll pop up. Or I guess it's always in the description of the video. You can do that too. Any other plays you want me to take a look at, put them down in the comments. Let me know. And I appreciate it. And please hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Happy trading.